Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to be hearing about topics that are important to home business owners. Today's focus is on my e-com squad. We're going to be talking about some tax tips for e-commerce business owners, okay? So e-commerce, whether you are drop shipping on eBay, selling on Amazon, if you're on Etsy, Shopify, all of that, this is where you need to pay attention, okay? Because one of the things that recently came about is that two states, Massachusetts and Vermont, are now requiring 1099-Ks from these third-party payers to be sent when you earn $600 or more, just like a 1099 miscellaneous. Everybody else is $20,000 and 200 transactions. But these two states currently are the only ones that are requiring that lower threshold, okay? So I really want to talk about how you report your income to make sure that you do it correctly so that you don't wind up, just inadvertently in trouble with, and you're really not trying to do that. It's just a lack of knowledge. So that's why I'm here. Okay. So number one, when you report your sales, you report your gross sales. Okay. Not what, like Amazon, for instance, not what they distribute to you, but what your gross sales are. All right. And then you report those fees. And this is number two, you report those fees as expenses. Okay. So let's say that you sell a product on Amazon for $500. All right. Amazon is going to take their fees out of that. They got referral fees. They got stocking fees, shipping fees, just because you owe Amazon fees. Right. So from that, you might get, $400. Okay. So the way that you would report that is you would report your gross sales is $500. Then you report the $100 worth of expenses. And then what you have left is your profit. And if you've got cost of goods sold, you subtract that as well, which brings me to number three, the cost of goods sold. You have to keep your receipts to make sure that you appropriately report your cost of goods sold. So if you are, if you're reselling books, for instance, okay, you might buy 50 books for $5. Okay, well, great. Your cost of goods sold is going to be $5. All right. So you have to, but you also have to have the receipts. Okay. It's not just the line item on your bank statement. It's not just a line item on your credit card statement. You have to have the receipts. So whether you have the physical receipt or a digital copy of the receipt, thou shalt have receipts. Okay, so any product that you purchase to be sold is your cost of goods sold. So whether you resell books, if you put stuff together, like I know one lady, Tiffany Knighton, she has all these fabulous sashes. Okay, so whatever material she buys, any type of, whether it's beads, I don't know what kind of satin, whatever she's got to purchase in order to create this fabulous sash, that goes in the cost of goods sold. That comes out of your profits so that you can report the appropriate amount of profits. Okay. So you've got number one, you report your gross sales, not what's distributed to you. Number two, you take those fees that they take out, you report those as expenses. Number three, you gotta have your receipts for your cost of goods sold. Next thing, number four, is that whatever fees you pay to maintain that site. So with Amazon, they've got $39.99 a month for if you are you know what kind of seller I'm talking about. You've got Shopify has fees, Etsy has fees, Bonanza has fees. Whatever fees that you pay in order to maintain that site is tax deductible, okay? The next thing is advertising. With sites like Etsy and Shopify, you have to run traffic to these sites. So if you run a Facebook ad or some other kind of ad, those advertising fees also are your expenses. Okay, you definitely make sure that you subtract those things. And the next thing, let's talk about the home office, because this is where folks get messed up. Now, we are about living our laptop lifestyle, okay? I am down for being able to work anywhere, okay? But if you are working anywhere, that means you may not be able to deduct a home office. Your home office expense is an area, you have an area that is dedicated and exclusively used for business. But if you do your drop shipping at your kitchen table, or in the living room, whether you in the bed or whatever, so you cannot legally claim a home office. All right, it's got to be where you perform your administrative tasks, and it's an exclusive use. So if you have a home office, great, but if you don't, please don't go and claim that when you really don't have one, because in the event that you are audited, you're going to have to prove that home office. If you can't do that, then that deduction will be disallowed and you might have to pay some money back. Okay. So I just want to be clear on that. The next thing is sales tax. Now, I am not a sales tax person. However, I can tell you that states have gotten real tired of losing sales tax revenue to online sales. So the states right now are in a full court press to go after people that have a nexus, okay, which is a presence in their state. Now, with Amazon, you got stuff all over the place, okay? They send you stuff to New Jersey, California, Virginia, some are everywhere, right? And so, so you might have a nexus in a state that you don't even live in, all right? And so states are starting to pursue e-commerce sellers to collect sales tax. So if you have not really determined for your state whether or not you need to collect sales tax, I highly suggest you do that so that you can remain compliant. Okay. Now, Amazon, I know, is supposed to be starting to collect sales tax, which if they do, that's going to be less of a headache for you, but you as the seller are still responsible. But even if you're not using a site like Amazon, you might be, selling stuff on, like I said, Shopify or Etsy or eBay even, and you might even have your own digital products. Did you know there are some states that require you to collect sales tax even on digital products? So this is a time where you need to be really checking out your state with what you're selling to see if you need to register to collect sales tax where you ordinarily would not have to do it. Okay, or you wouldn't think you would have to do it. So you've got to definitely do that, and then seek out somebody who does sales tax professionally. That's not me. Okay, I don't do sales tax, but I keep my ear to the ground. And so that's one of the things that will also come back to bite e-commerce sellers, is because if you wind up not collecting sales tax and then you get this bill from your state, then you still got to pay it. Okay, you definitely still got to pay it. All right, I think we're on number 7. I get the question a lot about business structure for e-commerce. Okay, and e-commerce business is really no different than any other business when it comes down to structure. Okay. Especially with tax reform, it's got people talking like, do I need to shift, whatever, and that is such an all-encompassing thing that there's no right answer just across the board. It really depends on the amount of revenue you have, the amount of expenses, what your final profits are, just a lot of different things, as well as you might have personal income as well, meaning, you might have your e-commerce business, but your spouse has a job that pays really well. Well, you have to put all of that together to determine whether or not you need to, have a different business structure. So it's not a one size fits all. This is the time when you really need to consult with a professional about what your next steps are for your e-commerce business. But the main takeaways is to make sure that you are reporting your income. You are required to report all of your income. I don't care if you don't receive the 1099K, which comes from, Amazon The reporting for the 1099K is $20,000 and 20 transactions. 200 transactions and $20,000. That is the standard reporting requirement. But even if you do not get those documents, you are required to report your income but with the income, you are also, you report your expenses. But understand that when these third-party payment processors send those documents, they're sending your gross sales. They're not reporting the fees. So any PayPal fees, eBay fees, Amazon fees, Shopify, Etsy, all of those fees are tax deductible. Whatever payment processor you're using, those fees are tax deductible. So you need to make sure that you know what they are. This is why bookkeeping is important. This is why keeping up with your financials and reviewing them on a regular basis is important, so that you know what your income and expenses are at all times, okay? So that's it for today for my e-commerce squad. I really hope this helps you out. If you have not booked your consult and you need to, make sure to reach out to me. I'll put the link in the comments when I'm done with the show. But yeah, that's it, guys. Please don't wait till the last minute to get your taxes filed. That is not a good idea. All right, so thank you guys so much. That's it for today's episode of Home Biz Tax Talk. Again, we air Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and you can tune in here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right, have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.